can get cameras on, please. Do the lateral and ventromedial hypothalamus regulate hunger by sending signals to the pituitary gland and release the hormone? Yes. Basically. You just need to know that lateral hypothalamus stimulates hunger, ventromedial tells you when you're full. All right, number one. What in the process of vision is responsible for seeing the colors of your cupcake? Cones. Yep. Okay. Cones are responsible for it. Where are these cells primarily located in the retina? Well, the answer is right here in the fovea. And then this visual information travels through the... Actually, I'm just running out of time. Okay, travels through the optic nerve to the visual cortex, which is in the occipital lobe. Okay, the visual cortex is part of the occipital lobe. Number two, what part of your brain is related to hunger and satiety? Hypothalamus. Okay, the lateral and the ventromedial hypothalamus. What gland is directly controlled by this part of your brain? What's the gland? The master gland? The pituitary gland. Okay, hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland. And then in turn, the pituitary gland controls the endocrine system. What is the relay center in your brain called? The thalamus. And then, does the scent of the cupcake go through this system? Does the scent of the cupcake go through the thalamus? No. Okay. All right. The thalamus is the sensory switchboard. However, right, smell is the only sense that does not go through it. All right. It goes directly to the olfactory bulb, which sits right behind your nose. It's an evolutionary shortcut to make sure that we were able to smell things really fast. All right, there's another important thing about the colors that you see on your cupcake. What are the two theories of color vision called? The what? Not triarchic. That's intelligence. Taylor? Or I can't even. Iconic? Opponent process. Okay. Yes. All right. All right. Opponent process, which explains color vision in the optic nerve in the thalamus, where we have neurons that respond to opposing color signals. They respond to either red or green, blue or yellow, or black or white, but they can't respond to both at the same time. And then trichromatic theory explains color vision in the retina with our cones that respond to either red, blue, or green light. Don't mix up. We've had a lot of people mix up trichromatic with triarchic theory. Triarchic theory is a theory of intelligence. If you eat your cupcake but don't gain any weight after ingesting those calories, what might that indicate? Identify two factors involved. What are some factors that could be involved there?
Basal metabolic rate.
All right, you either have a fast metabolism or
You like exercise?
okay, or maybe if you exercise. Well, what's the other theory regarding weight gain?
Set point.
Set point. Yep, and it should say you have a low set point. Okay, set point. The idea we have like a weight thermostat. Sitting here with a cupcake on your desk that you aren't supposed to eat may remind you about an aspect of development that typically develops in adolescence. What is it? Did anybody figure this one out? Never really. I mentioned it, and a lot of you all, I believe, have seen the study of it, the study. Apparently, it's people have been doing it on TikTok, okay? But this is delayed gratification. And I'm actually going to change the slide if I can. Spell it. Michelle. Stanford marshmallow. Okay. Let's assume the cupcake has a pleasant aroma. Once the cupcake has been sitting there on your desk for a few minutes, you no longer really notice the smell. What is this called? All right, sensory adaptation. Moral development. So I answered this. I need to change this question. Okay, what level of moral development have you attained at the very least? If you reason that you have to obey the guidelines for this assignment, that's very vague. Explain using Kohlberg stages of moral reasoning. So I gave you, for pre-conventional, you follow the directions of the assignment or you'll get punished. For conventional, you follow the directions because all your friends are following the directions or to keep social order. And then post-conventional, you follow the directions not because you are told to, but because it is part of your own personal moral code. Okay? If your cupcake has addictive properties, what would happen after you ate several and then didn't have any more? What's that called? When people do drugs and they stop doing them? Yep, they go into withdrawal. What would a cupcake made of cocaine do at the neurological level? All right, okay. It would specifically, all right, cocaine is a dopamine agonist, so it would stimulate the production of dopamine while also blocking the reuptake of it. So it floods your brain with dopamine. If someone drops a cloth over your cupcake and you realize you still have the cupcake that is only hidden and you have mastered the cognitive task of what? Of object permanence. Assume for a moment you were watching someone else eat their cupcake. What neurons would be firing as your emphatic self, empathic self is in tune with their experience? Mirror neurons. And lastly, the cupcake eater bites his tongue. What is the name of one useful model of pain control? The idea that pain signals are transmitted through small nerve fibers, but then like rubbing a painful area activates large nerve fibers, which blocks pain signals. Anybody remember what that's called?
Gate control theory?
Yeah, gate control theory. Okay.